Yes. Welcome back, guys. It's another episode of DWD's Trapcast. Episode 38. We're keeping strong on the schedule ish. You know what I'm saying? This today is a special episode. Something I've wanted to do for a while. It's the one, the only, legendary Stalin. You know what I'm saying?
What's up? What's up, people?
So, my friends who listen, I told lots of stories about them already. I talk all the time about my friend from Ecuador. How about how we both love psychedelics? You want to talk about how we met?
Yeah, of course. I think that's the most interesting part.
That's what I was gonna
actually.
say.
Yeah.
I haven't really talked about it. So we got. I met him locked up over Whiteside County Jail. Um, it's one of those things I felt like I was gonna overly talk about. So I did. I tried not to talk about that much, but if it came
Yeah.
organically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like with you, at least we have somewhere we can, you know what we've been through type shit. You were there as well.
I feel like like those places are really really bad, but also like you ended up meeting these cool people,
Hell
and
yeah,
then you
dog.
started sharing all these stories and have like a lot in common. And then also not only that, but also you create also
Yeah.
good memories, even though
Right.
that is a bad
It's
place.
fucked up to say that, but yeah, there's some things I won't ever forget that
Yeah.
I learned, and just funny moments in jail.
Let me tell you, for example, a good experience that I had in jail. Like I never was in a Super Bowl party.
Oh yeah,
Never in my life was
check
in a
this shit
Super
out,
Bowl
bro.
party, and I ended up in jail in a
Well,
Super Bowl
it had
party.
to be 2023 Super Bowl. I don't remember who played, but it was funny as fuck because our work release day, we all made a bunch of dips, and wings that had their TVs broke were allowed to come over.
Yeah.
That shit was actually funny as fuck. I made this buffalo chicken dip, which was gas.
Oh, my
Jordan
God.
made some gross ass rice and beans bullshit, bro. And then who else cooked something? I can't remember. There was like two more dishes
Yeah,
though.
it was burritos.
Yeah,
I think
burrito.
it was like nachos too.
Hell yeah.
It was a lot of stuff though.
Dude, that was busting, man. That was a cool fucking the Super Bowl, dog.
Super Bowl.
That
It's
was
my
fun.
first experience. I got it in jail.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask this because I don't know if I ever knew this. When did you move
Well, I moved here 2006 actually.
to the States?
Yeah,
Right?
to the
And you
States.
first moved to
To New York.
New York City, right?
Live New York. I actually grew up there. I could say that.
Yeah,
I grew up.
I would too. Because how old were you moved there?
14, 15.
14,
I
yeah,
believe.
hell yeah.
Around 14 or 15. So
And how long were you in New York?
for 12 years, and then I moved here to Illinois for 6 years.
Was it always this area?
Yeah, I started in Rock Falls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but
You definitely miss New York.
yeah,
I would too.
definitely. Yeah,
I would too. There's just more to do. I've said this. I was born in Davenport, which is still small comparatively, But I've lived in Fulton most of my life. I'd say, like you said, like 14ish actually, 13,
Yeah.
14, seventh grade. I moved to Fulton, and it's basically all I know. It's just small town country shit. You
Yeah.
feel me? There's like I like it. I like the people, of course, like that. And the cities around it, like Clinton, are actually getting bigger and stuff like that. But it's just like especially you work in the creative arts. Like he does photography, music videos. He does what else do you do?
little bit of everything.
Literally anything
Hand
media
in hand.
based wise. You know what I'm
If you need
saying?
a hand,
Yeah.
I'll give you a hand. That too.
But like there's just not opportunities for stuff like that in this area.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So look, like with the thing that happened, going to jail and everything, I lost my job, and
Hey, me too.
dude, the way to find a job in that type of areas, it's really hard. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's most of the problem.
Yeah.
Actually, but other than that, it is okay too. It has its pros and cons. Let's put it that way. So,
See, I've been to like bigger cities a lot. Obviously, Chicago's really close. Most people will go there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I would love it, but also, oh man, dog. I have social anxiety. So
I have a crazy story in Chicago.
go for
I
it.
don't know if I can. We can talk about anything.
Yeah.
Okay, this
No
is Jordan.
bars hold, dog.
My son had soccer practice. Oh, sorry, friend. Jordan. Jordan. Let's talk about him.
Oh, no. They got soccer practice.
Yeah.
He gets off one time.
All right. So that was back when I was just now actively drinking and all of that, doing
Okay.
crazy stuff, like really, really crazy
Yeah.
stuff. So I think it was like the first or second time that I was going back to New York after I moved.
Okay, so you were taking a
So-
trip back home.
Yeah, so I wasn't driving, so I took the someone actually no actually I took a cab a taxi from here to Mendoza.
To where?
Mendoza, or something. It's like 40 minutes from here.
Actually, I think I know what you're talking about. I think there's.
It's a train station.
Okay, yeah.
Like the
Yep.
Amtrak. So
That's how.
I took that train there, and then I went to Chicago, and I have like my pack and my camera, two bags. And I went to the hotel, lived everything to the hotel, and I have like my camera, and I went out like for a night just to explore in Chicago at night. And then I started like I left like around 8 p.m. Dude, I started like went to a bar, started drinking like crazy. Then I started smoking.
You're by yourself.
Yeah, I did. That was my first time in Chicago.
You would have, dude. You got balls, dog. I'd be scared.
Wait, dude, the thing gets worse. That's just the beginning. So I started drinking, started smoking weed and everything. And then I was just going out with a random guy, and he's like, I have some coke. And I'm like, okay, cool stuff. Like, all good. So I was staying by O'Hare. I cannot even remember what.
Okay.
So there was a hotel, motel, I don't know. A Super 8, Super 8.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, a Super 8. Of course.
I'm liking where this is headed.
So I went back like to that place after like around 4 in the morning, probably 3. Dude, but I was like already in the mood. And then this guy gave me his phone number. I was just like messaging, can you bring me coke? And I was like so bad.
Yeah, I'm known. It's demon time.
Yeah, and then it was like I was messaging, and he's like, "Yeah, I can go there for extra cash."
Oh.
So he was coming, and I'm like, "Dude, are you coming? Are you coming?" And he's like, "Dude, I'm there, almost there." And then he keeps like like delaying, like
Yeah,
you know, like
I know.
2 hours. And I got so pissed off, and I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna send the fucking police to you
Shit.
if you're not coming."
No.
Then he show up.
Pissed.
He show up, and he's like, jump to the back. I go to the back, and he's like next to me. He's like, who are you gonna call the police? Boom, he put the gun on me.
No way, dog.
That was like the first time meeting this guy. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I was like, dude, just give me the drug. Here's the money,
Damn, gun to your head type shit.
And then he's like, don't fucking do that to me. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I wasn't gonna call, like, trying to avoid. And I just left. I just opened the door. Like,
You still got it?
yeah.
Yeah, we still got it. Was that the only time I got
Crazy, but well, that was the only time that I experienced something like that.
No one's ever like pulled it.
I think it was the same time or another time in Chicago too. I was actually photographing at night, and I was walking around at night, like midnight, going under a bridge. Dude, that was like the worst.
Imagine being a white girl. You could never do that.
Yeah, I was just walking, and I saw these two guys behind me, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like this is gonna, already. Then I start walking faster, and all this, and then I start running. And then a taxi was, coming. I stopped the taxi, and he took me. That was like, otherwise they were still my camera and everything.
Oh fuck!
That was.
Where are you at? Pulaski, fucking.
It was in Chicago. I cannot remember, but it was like by that train, and there was like a bridge. So I don't know. It was. I have a lot of pictures about those experiences, dude. That was pretty cool.
That's funny. At least now you look at those photos you took that night. I almost died that night.
I have videos. I always do like, oh my god. I think that's the best of.
You're a photographer. Makes sense.
Doing photography, I think it's.
I love photography. I don't think I could ever do what you do on the professional scale, but I still have like an eye for aesthetic. I feel like more than the average person.
Yeah,
Like I'd say like okay, like Jordan's down here. He's just basic bitch. I'm right about here. 6, 7 out of 10. You're at a 10.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Like, and so, but I do appreciate it, like the art and stuff and all that. Now, here's what I want to talk about. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to say, like, when I started, like, I was more like of full photography, but now it's more like art in general.
Yeah.
And I feel like just photography is a tool, and then, like, now it's more exploring. And I think that, like, exploring, like let's say like with a podcast, because I told you I did a podcast at the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
So for me, doing that podcast was more of kind of an expression, and with my friend, 'cause we did 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And for us, it wasn't more like trying
This is
to do a
Spanish, right?
podcast, yeah, but it was more like of self-expression and just like recording ourselves.
That's all this is. Like, I don't plan anything like this. This is just me telling stories, you know what I'm saying, and to document it. Like, I think it's cool to be able to relive my own stories vicariously to myself. And the whole reason I even came up with this, like, it was COVID. Everyone's doing podcasts and stuff like that. I watch podcasts, but I'm like, I think it'd be really cool if I got to pass like down these memories to my children someday. They're gonna be like, "Oh, listen to Dad going crazy," you know. That's
exactly.
Because my memory's terrible, dog. 5 weeks from now, 5 days from now, I'm gonna forget today.
It's not even that only to your children; it's also to yourself.
Yeah,
Like you
no, that's what I mean,
yourself to in here to 10 years, and I was like, "Oh, I was living this with this person, and I had this experience."
When I came home, I rarely listen to my podcast like immediately. I'll do a clean run through kind of, but like I won't listen like that. I'll listen for errors, you know, like editing mode. But when I got home, I was listening to some of the old ones, and it was just super cool. I'm like, it's cringy, but it's also cool. I'm just being myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never gonna put on.
I think I like when I was on the podcast. We like doing cringe stuff, like changing our voices. Like I was telling you.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, okay, there's a very infamous episode. It was my 420 episode special. Maybe I think I had a couple of them, but it was like the first one I did. There was probably like 10 people, you know, and we're all in the room, and it was the vibe and stuff. But like halfway through it, I'm so freaking fried out of my mind. I can't even comprehend the sentences that are going on. And like I said, there's like 8 people. Like 2 people are talking over here, 2 people talking over here. You know, I'm like, dude, we gotta stop this because this is nonsense. People listening to this, there's no way they're on.
Oh my God.
People love that episode, so I'm like, maybe they liked it.
I don't know that. It's so confusing, but you know, there's a public for everything.
Yeah, no, 100%. In my opinion, in my what's the word? My experience, I guess, is that people like the raw content. You know what I'm saying? They don't want people putting on a front or anything like that. That's why podcasts are successful because you get long-term content of people being raw. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to put up a front for like a couple hours.
And it's also, you know, like also depending on the you know, like the what kind of podcast.
Oh yeah.
Because you know, like I like that kind where you can actually talk about anything without being judgmental or you know, just like free and you go with the flow.
That's the other thing that I'm always so honest and open about my past. Just with like Xanax or anything embarrassing people might say, like I've grown from that. Like it is embarrassing, don't get me wrong, but I'm not that person anymore. So I can openly talk about it because I feel like it holds me accountable. You know what I'm saying? People along with myself can see the growth.
And you're ready to fight for that.
Man, 2 years, goddamn, I hope so.
Me too.
God damn it.
I was there just 3 months, but that was
It's funny because everyone's like, Dustin, I can't believe you're the one to get locked up. You don't deserve it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a good guy, but I was doing bad things.
Yeah,
you know, not super bad things. No one was harmed by any means.
Yeah,
like,
just yourself.
It wasn't man. I had a celly while I was in Sheridan. Dude, this dude, I wanted to fight him so bad the whole time I was there. But what happened was,
Greg.
He looked just like Greg. He acted just like him. I asked him, I said, do you have family in Rockford? Because I thought they could be related. Just behavior-wise, I even asked him, you Puerto Rican, dog? Like, what the fuck's going on? He comes in, he's talking about, yeah, this is my 10th bid. Ooh, I've got nothing but domestics. They call me the domestic king out there. Oh, shit, dog. Are you proud of that? And so he comes into my cell around April, okay? Like the beginning of April. Because my old celly left. Shout out to him. He's a real homie, dude. He lived down south. And so I got to go see this nigga soon, bro. Shout out Pre, dude. But yeah, when he went home, I got this celly. And for the first like week or so, I'm just like, all right, I'm going to just get through it. I'm supposed to be going home in a couple weeks. Fuck him, you know? And we got into a lot of altercations. It wasn't like I was going to let it get that far. But I was like, dude, I should fucking knock this dude out right now just because of how he acts. It's crazy. Like, he's one of those people who, like, take advantage of the weak and, you know, and he thinks he's cool and he's cocky about nothing. You know, just like Greg, dog. Just like Greg. And...
Oh, when they got punching my face.
It was like my ultimate test of patience because my out date kept getting moved. if I would have known back in April that I wasn't going home to July and I had to deal with the dude for 2 months, I know I would have done something, you know.
Yeah.
So it was like just another test for me to get through. I'm like, no, I'm going home. Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? Now he's back there still chilling.
How does that work in Sheridan? Like what? Like do you have any schedule for something? Or...
Sheridan?
Yeah.
Oh man. So
do you go outside?
on the normal day, what my day was looking like, I don't know if I said this before on here, so I'm sorry, but my normal day, if everything went right, okay, would be wake up at like 8 a.m. for either group or school, depending on what schedule I had. I had school first, so I had school from 8:30 to 11:30. Okay, then you have lunch hour from 11 to like 1 or something. It just goes by houses, though. So school goes around like 12.
So you choose what to study, or
so you get to apply for schools. The programmings they have the HBI, which is called the Home Building Initiative. They offer like plumbing, masonry, carpentry, and electrical. You know, stuff to where you can try to get construction trade when you get home.
Nice.
What I did was they have vocational school, which they offer culinary arts, welding, warehousing, and then horticulture, which is like gardening. But they didn't have a teacher for that because that's what I applied for. But I got the welding program, so I was in there from 8 to 11 if the teacher was there, or if we weren't short staffed. Then I come back around 12:30, and then that's when I have my group. The group is from West Care, so it's just like rehab. You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh, what are some coping skills? Okay. One thing I really didn't like about it is that every week we had this program called Inside Out Dads, which was just for, being a better parent while incarcerated, which was, I'm like, I get it, but like, dog, like, I'm not a dad, and a lot of people weren't. Like, I get it for the people that are, but I just didn't understand why we were doing it part of the drug program curriculum. But it is what it is. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like, if people get into fights about it, they'd be like, "Oh, I don't think you should be doing that." And what's this nigga about to say? He don't even got kids. He don't even know me like that. It's all fuck,
It was more for a fight play.
Yeah, and like for real, like, but so we were supposed to get yard every other day. But we did it because they were short staff. Okay. Like when they do like the roll call and stuff like that, the yard people, like the mailroom officer was one of the last ones, so our mail was so fucked up. Like if you sent me a letter and it got there today, I wouldn't get it till sometime like in October, like the middle of October. It took 4 to 6 weeks, which is crazy, dude. Like what? Yeah, it was just super fucked. But as in like condition wise, it's not like you're gonna see on TV type shit. It's a maximum rehab. Like they're holding the good time over everyone's head, so no one's gonna be on no bullshit. There's no gangbang like that. Like there is, but not openly. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get jumped. I mean, you could. Don't get me wrong. But if you go in there and you just mind your business, you ain't fucking antagonizing people, you're gonna be smooth as shit. It's a sweet joint in that sense. What sucks about it is how the officers treat you. Because of that good time, they hold it over your head and shit like that, and they'll treat you crazier than other officers would at a different prison. Because most prisons, there's like a respect level. They know, like, oh, this inmate got such and such time. He'll risk it all for nothing, I'm talking SEALs will come around with your picture of your girlfriend, talk about, yeah, that's why I fucked your bitch when she came to visit. Like, damn, dog, and you're supposed to just take that,
That happens in the...
I've seen that happen at Sheridan. I've seen it, like, literally. I was like, damn, dog, that's nuts.
But we're just trying to get you more charges.
That's what I'm saying. Like, me, I can put my pride aside. You call me a bitch, you call me a hoe, I don't give a fuck. I'm going home. But other motherfuckers, they'll be like, oh, I ain't no punk, you ain't gonna treat me like that. Oh, I'm gonna fight you. Like, to a CO, like, you gonna call me a hoe, fuck you. Willing to go to the hole and sag and all this crazy shit over nothing. Like, put your pride aside. Who you fucking trying to impress in here, dude? It's a bunch of grown-ass men in prison. Like, fuck these people. Fuck with anyone. But I've also met a bunch of cool people there, too, like you said.
Yeah, that's cool, yeah.
Like, one thing I did... Do you know what Magic the Gathering is, the card game?
Magic, no.
It's just a card game, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
But there's like a scene for it in prison. Like, there's a lot of old people who play Magic and stuff like that because it's a strategy game. It's like another level above chess, basically.
And they allow that game in there?
Yeah. Well, they didn't allow it at Sheridan, but other prisons do. And so when times people get transferred,
they bring
they just have all their stuff because once it's in IDOC, it's easy to get to any joint,
Okay.
But like
transfer into different hotel.
like certain prisons will sell Air Forces, like white Air Forces, because in prison your shoes have to be all white or all black. It just depends on what they sell. And so people would bring their Air Forces from other prisons and stuff like that, and they'd be selling them $200, $300 per Air Force. Like, dude, fuck you.
How about the tablet? Did you buy a tablet?
Man. So the tablet, I wish I brought it with me, dog. The tablet we had in the county is fucking sweet. Yeah. The jail tablet sucks so fucking bad, dog. You don't even know. It's $150. It's like the same.
So the one that we had, that was good one.
Yeah.
And the one that you went to.
Yeah, it was trash.
That was trash.
So the ones that we had in the county were Secures tablets. They're more expensive because you got to buy everything. But the GTL tablets, it's just dog shit. You have to pay like $5 a month for the game subscription. They have 8 games, and 3 of them are solitaire. 3 solitaire games: Bingo, Yahtzee, Word Search, some hillbilly bullshit.
No Pokemon.
No, dude, in the county, dog, we was cooking it up. I had Pokemon Fire Red, Fire Emblem, Zelda, Sonic. You know what I'm saying? That shit was busted.
That was good.
Fucking goddamn. But no, like the tablet though, you definitely like. You want it though because you can buy the music subscription, which isn't as good as what they had at Securus again, but it was still better than nothing. You know, like
movies.
Movies, no. The movies, they had a movie app. You paid like $8 for a 24-hour pass, but like all the movies were super old, dude. Like it was weird. Like I'm talking like nothing past 2012. Like literally, like it was weird, dude. And like.
They probably have skill time.
There's like I counted one time. There's like 60 something movies, like 67.
Wow.
But it's like, bro, nothing. In the county, man, a movie would come into theaters and be on the tablet.
Yeah.
I'm dead, dog.
I remember that was time like Black Panther.
Yeah, that's how I watched Black Panther too. That's how I watched a couple movies.
Because I watched that and then I went to jail after that, like next week, and
it was on there.
And it was like there, like after next month, probably.
That was clutch though. Whenever like me, Jordan, sometimes you, we'd all buy movies and just swap. Make a weekend go by fast, dude. Actually. Oh fuck.
Oh my god, that guy sometimes he show up like at Walmart while I'm working, you know, like he just look at me and he just pretends he doesn't know me. I'm like, actually.
Were you ever there with that weekender who was always crying? He's like, I just want to be home with you.
No, but you told me about that one.
I was gonna say, I couldn't remember if that was you or not when he was there. I didn't think so.
I was this other guy, he was very skinny.
It was just funny because like I get it, jail's hard and stuff like that. But he did weekends. He'd come in Friday at 6 p.m. and leave at Sunday at 6 p.m.
No time crying.
He's just crying and stuff like that on the phone. And I get it. But then that last Sunday, like the last like 6 or 8 hours, he's at dropped up. He's like, yeah, fuck this jail shit. This shit. It's like, bro, he was just on the phone crying, talking about. Literally, this is not even me exaggerating because I kind of do that sometimes. He's like, I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna kill myself. You gotta get him out. I gotta get him out early today. That's gonna happen. Otherwise, they're gonna have a lawsuit. I'm gonna. Bro, if that's how it worked, you think our asses would be sitting up in here, bro? Oh my gosh, that's just funny as fuck.
That's crazy. you don't remember when they went confiscated all our underwear because we had a lot.
Bro, they came in.
I have like 4 or 5.
Dude, I had at least 8 pairs of underwear.
Yeah.
To keep in mind, so what we're talking about is they state issue, I think, 2 pairs of underwear, and we had a worker who worked in the laundry room, so he just kept bringing us back some. Well, they did a shakedown because they were like, we're low on state underwear, and they're like, there's 7 people in this dorm, but we found 42 pairs of underwear. You guys are supposed to have like 8.
Like extra clothes and everything.
Extra clothes, extra masks, everything.
Extra food,
extra blankets.
He used to, what was his name? Moose. He used to.
Moose was funny as fuck.
He used to bring extra food all the time.
I ain't gonna lie, that guy kind of scared me, especially in the beginning. Like not scared me, but I was scared for other people for him. You know. Like, you weren't there in the beginning when he broke his hand because someone was being so loud.
Someone told me that.
It was crazy, dog. Like, because what it was, we had gotten Cocoa Puffs or Cocoa Pebbles, one of the two, and he was crushing it up to like a powder for his coffee. Okay, it was just some jail shit. He's institutionalized like a motherfucker. But it's one of the things is if you're in a dorm, you just got to learn. You can't, you know what I'm saying. You could ask, hey man, keep it down, but you can't expect anything. You feel me? And so this dude, that same weekender, actually was like, "Hey man, what are you doing? Beating off over there? How about you shit? Keep it down." He's like, "What the fuck did you say?" And he starts like banging his hand on the tray, you know, this plastic tray, and he broke the tray with his hand, just punching it, like going crazy. And the next thing you know, his hand broken. He broke his own hand. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like you sure showed him, I guess. What the fuck? Break my own hand? The fuck?
That's dumb.
But yeah, Moose, he calmed down. So I'm not gonna tell his whole story like that, but I'll say when he first got locked up, that was like week 2 or something. He was going through a lot because his girlfriend sold
His daughter.
his daughter. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Sold his daughter for some drug money and then didn't tell him at all. They basically, you know, she's carrying it for another person and stuff.
And that like she was like adopted, and that's why he cannot find out who the parents are.
Yeah. So it was a crazy thing that's just like, what is life like?
That's another thing. That's another thing. Yeah, you can actually, you know, like find out in people in jail. You know, that's some. They're not like even bad person. They just did something for.
That's right. Right.
Yeah, you know.
Well,
besides another topic, what else?
Fuck that jail shit.
Yeah, fuck.
Now here's the interesting part. This is what I think people want to hear about. Let's talk about the shamans.
The shamans, trippies, and
yes, your favorite trip.
Oh my god, my favorite. You know, like actually, I had like a few weeks ago. I had one of my favorite trips. So let's go with that with the one in Ecuador.
Okay, do that one first.
Let's do that. Then I'll go to the other one.
So in Ecuador,
South America. That's where I'm from. So I'm gonna.
Would you take there? Was it ayahuasca?
No, it wasn't the ayahuasca. It was something like the ayahuasca. It's called San Pedro.
Okay.
Which is like Saint Peter in English, and it's a kind of cactus.
Okay. Like peyote?
Yeah, kind of peyote, but it's a different part in South America. Okay. But it's kind of like the same as peyote, but it's not.
Have you done ayahuasca before?
No. I had ayahuasca oil.
Oh.
But
I haven't. I love psychedelics.
This kind of San Pedro is almost the same concept of ayahuasca, but in a lower level.
Okay.
Because the ayahuasca is
it's peak.
So this is more like, you know, the level of trippy or whatever you wanna call it. It's low. So pretty much is and they do the same as the ayahuasca. So they actually take the cactus, and they just start crunching, and they boil it in water for like few hours.
So it's the same process.
The same process as ayahuasca.
Okay.
And so they have like this little, liquid, which that's the beverage that you drink.
Yeah.
So the whole experience started like my friend. I actually went from here. Like it was 2016.
Okay.
I went there to get married. That's a whole story.
Oh, no, get married. Okay. I'm going to dive into this, but like, did you know her beforehand, or is it like?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know her? Was it arranged, or did you?
A what?
Like arranged? Like your parents arranged it, or?
It's something crazy and crazy.
Okay.
But it's a funny story too.
We'll get into that some other time. Okay, yeah. You went there but now we're in South America. Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah, South America.
So now we're in Ecuador.
So yeah, I went there 2016. Mm-hmm. So my best friend, like, he usually comes here, and we go back and forth.
Yeah.
So he already done that, and he knows like the shaman.
Okay.
And like in shaman, we call it taita.
Taita?
Taita.
Okay, that's the shaman?
Yeah, so that's taita is like a Quechua word, which means dad. Oh. Like father.
Okay.
Like father, not that, like father.
Yeah.
So, and that's like, the taita is like in the highest, in the tribe.
Okay.
In the Inca kind of thing.
Okay.
So, we went to the Titan. The cool was the part was like in the middle of the mountains. We drove there out of the city like for 40 minutes because like the city is also in the mountains in Ecuador. So we got into like this nice place. And there was like this little house in the middle of the mountains, and there was like a fire pit,
Yeah.
and there was like the Temazcal. You know what is a Temazcal? So Temazcal is from Mexico, I believe, but there is other parts in South America. Anyway, so there is like this dome,
Okay.
and inside you go there, and there is like vapor.
Oh.
It's like a kind of sauna.
Oh,
But
like
it's
a
not,
natural.
yeah, but it's more. So anyway, so we drink this, like we go there for the fire pit, and there's like a lot of rocks, and they're chanting, dancing, woo, woo, woo. Then you drink. I got 2 cups,
Yeah.
and we were standing.
Well, they tell you to do 2 cups, or
Oh no, they ask you one. It's like, do you want another one? And I said yes. Give me that one. So I was there with my friend, with 2 of my friends. We were 4, but only 3 of us just jump inside. So after half hour, he's like, "We're ready. We're gonna go to the Temazcal inside the dome."
Okay.
So either one, you want to get naked or not. But with my friend, and then, like it was like more people, like around 12 people, and some of them got naked. I got like just underwear. So we got inside and just sit on the floor, and there's like the grass, and in the middle there's like this fire pit, and they start bringing the rocks
Okay.
inside. The rocks are like fire, like red.
Yeah.
And then the shaman comes in and start chanting like oh Lord. And then with water start throwing
On
like
the
on the
rocks.
rocks, and then
Okay. Yeah.
and I remember I was sitting there, and I just like took a huge breath, and boom, like the smoke started dancing, started shaking, and I'm like, what the hell is going on
That's
here?
awesome.
And then it was just like the sounds. It was like doom doom. Like I don't know how to explain, but every time he sings, it was like the shapes of the sound was synchronized with the voice of this guy, dude. And I was just like looking at everybody, and everybody.
Sick.
Have you seen that kind of effect when you're filming like the kind of shaky, blurry? Everything was there,
Trails and
and
stuff.
I was just like with the music. And then I saw my other friend. He was having a hard time.
Did he do 1 or 2 cups?
I think he did one only. I think he's very, very like.
Some people aren't for
Yeah.
psychedelics. That's the thing.
So I saw him, on the floor. He was curved like that,
Oh,
and he was just crying,
Oh,
and he was just crying, saying like, "Hey, granddad, please stop hitting me." And he was just crying. So, but that was the part of the whole thing, like that's the part of the temazcal, the ayahuasca, or any other Saint Peter, because it's actually, like it goes to your traumas.
Yeah, there's an ego death on temple.
And takes that out of yourself. You're actually expressing that.
Yeah.
And once you're done with that, I think that's the best. So anyway, it was like there. So we get there like around 8, 9, and we stay there until 3 in the morning.
Okay.
And inside it's a lot of smoke. And sometimes it's hard to breathe.
Okay.
And the way to breathe it, even if you're like in a fire or something. So sometimes you get locked in a fire and you cannot breathe. Just put yourself on the floor.
To the ground.
Same concept, And I remember at some point I was so desperate and I thought I was dying. I was just like, let me get out. And then I started craving a hole and going outside.
No way.
Yeah, wait. It was funny because there is like other people outside. So I was doing that, and I took my head out, and then I don't know, an asshole was outside like, go back inside, don't hit my head.
No.
I went back inside, and I was like, please, let me go out. I'm dying. And I started screaming that I was dying. It was so crazy. But I actually ended up finishing the whole thing.
Yeah.
So after I finished the whole trip and everything, I was crying too probably. And I was, my part of my, bad thing was I feel alone, loneliness or something. It was more like that kind of
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it was like,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's scary, but it was a good experience. After that, I remember.
Oh.
So I remember this part where I we when you go there before you bring fruit.
Oh.
So after we finished that, we got out, do that like I said, like probably 3 in the morning, and we went to like this waterfall.
Oh.
And then we just jumped there, and I remember I was just there like for half hour, just like, and we're in the mountains. It's
Yeah.
really cold.
No, I was gonna
Like,
say, even if
it's
it's summer, that's gonna be cold
in
water.
the Andes,
Yeah.
like the Andes. We're talking about the Andes, and I don't care because it was so hot there, and it was just like. And I was so tripping so much that I pretty much became part of the water. Like the water was touching me and I was
Yeah.
melting, and I was just part of the whole,
Yeah.
like everything,
Felt
like
connected.
yeah. So then we went to the table and there was like this table with fruit, and I was just eating, pineapple.
That's the best. Fruit when you're tripping.
Yeah.
I love fruit when
And I was talking to the Thai. He's like, you were screaming a lot, you cry, but how do you feel now? and I was like, I feel good. Like I was shaking. I was just like, yeah, like I have like a lot of emotions, feelings inside me. And
your friend ended up being okay too, obviously.
Yeah. Everybody were like actually relaxed after that. But that next day I went, like we went on home sleep. Next day we went for a walk, to keep trying connected with nature. I think that was the best part after that, like the whole thing, because I remember touching a leaf. And dude, like I touched the plant was so alive. I mean, they have they're alive, but I feel it like
no, I mean,
just like that emotion of like
that's how I feel.
Just thing like boom, 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 that kind of feeling.
That's how I feel on mushrooms, but I would imagine it's on a more intense scale, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel. Like you just feel connected. You feel like
And I remember-
you see the channels of energy.
Yeah.
It sounds like cliche to me now that I say it out loud, but to me when I take mushrooms, it makes me feel more open and connected to the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of me moving against it, I'm moving with it.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I went to help my family. That was the love. It was so cool experience. That was one of my favorite experience on that San Pedro, from Ecuador. That was one hell of a. I have another one in New York, dude. This one was crazy. This one actually was mushrooms.
Okay.
This was a trip of mushrooms. So we went actually to party with my friends in this place called, barcades, the different arcade games, bars. Yeah. So we went there to one of them, and we first eat like juice, cookies, edibles, and smoke. And we were just playing video games, blah blah blah. All good. We finished all, and then my friend and we took mushrooms on our way back home. And we were in Manhattan, Times Square, around that, and I lived at that time in Queens.
Okay.
So it was kind of an hour of trip. So we got home, and I was with my friend. Like I even already had like my shoes off. I was used to like on socks. And I was like, "Oh, do you want to smoke?" My friend's like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna go smoke." And I went outside, started smoking, and my friend came and boom, closed the door, and he left us outside.
Oh, I remember you telling me this.
Dude, and then and then like just right after that, the mushrooms start. It was like like it was like bad because it just he closed the door and boom.
Yeah.
And I start.
That's how it goes in a way.
I start tripping like what the
Right
fuck?
when you think you're safe.
And then I trying to open the door, trying to put my fingers in the where you put the key. And I was living in this basement in the house of this Jewish guy. He thought that I was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there was like a little window and I thought that I faked. I don't know. I thought that
I'm guessing it's like a basement,
yeah,
like this size
yeah,
window where
yeah.
just to let.
And I thought that I was like elastic for some reason. And then I tried to put my head, and I was like for a minute trying to get inside. And my friend is like, "You're not gonna fit." And I'm like, I can't. Just trusting me. And I'm trying to fit into that window. Nothing happened. And then we started walking, like, we cannot stay here because I'm tripping, you're tripping, and my landlord's gonna come or anyway. So we started walking. That was funny because after we started walking, it started raining.
That's what I remembered. Okay.
I didn't have shoes.
Like the rain.
I didn't have shoes. Walking for hours under the train, doing tripping in my car. No, it was already quick, but we went under the railroad, the trains under.
Yeah.
And we just started walking, and it was nice.
We were walking towards.
We started walking to my friend's house because he has a car. So
Okay.
our idea was go to live in the car. So we just started walking like for 3-4 hours, and then we just were laughing. It's like, let's take this, as a good adventure. Right. And we just started laughing.
There's some things I say it would never happen unless you're a tripping ball. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's one of the things. Like they would never happen, obviously, dude.
But let's say another concept of like besides tripping, but I also like the spiritual concept of psychedelics.
Yeah.
And dude, I had a really, really cool experience. Like I would call it more of a spiritual awakening kind of thing. Yeah, or an awakening. Not doesn't have to be necessarily.
Have you ever tried DMT?
No.
I've only tried it one time, and that's one of the closest things I had to an awakening. I feel like I didn't have enough to blast off, like people say. But what I did have was enough to definitely still put things crazy into perspective, Because I've never felt this way before. I had a cart and I hit it 2 times. And the second time, I could literally see myself from third person looking down. And I was like, this is crazy. This is what people talk about, like astral projecting and shit.
That's what actually happened to me like a few weeks ago with LSD.
Yeah. Man.
I took, I think, 3 or 4 drops of
gel.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
The gel.
I love you.
And then I was just like at home listening to music, and then I started seeing, like the TV.
Yeah.
Like just being part of the, like let's say like the TV,
I'll fucking that all up.
Okay,
there we go. There.
It's gonna keep going up though. Because I think that's a little bit okay.
I probably should.
Yeah, okay. So like I started like I was watching TV and I started seeing like the graphics becoming part of the whole reality. It started like like it was kind of the Matrix thing, the green stuff, like the numbers and things. Like the whole room started like I was kind of part of like this virtual reality.
That's how
type thing.
Yeah, because how I knew it was really kicking in for me. We were watching like either South Park or Rick and Morty. I don't remember which one, but either way, I have seen both the shows a million times. I know all the episodes, And like you said, the TV felt like it was melting. Like, not the TV itself, but what was on TV was melting onto the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? Like, and here's one of the things that kind of scared me at first. Was that, like, I was with my girlfriend at the time. She would say something, and then she would stop talking, and then I would hear it, but her lips weren't moving anymore. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm on like a rag or something.
I've been with people while tripping, but not really things like really low. Like, actually, we have like one tab divided by 4.
See, this is crazy now that I'm like reliving this too. Well, like you said, when I took the hit, I closed my eyes and I felt like I'm sinking back in this couch forever, but it felt good. But to me, not the Matrix, but it was like Star Wars when it goes into hyperspeed mode. I seen that.
I was there.
It's yellow, but and then next thing you know, I'm like looking down at myself, floating, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck's going on, dog? Like this shit's crazy.
And that's another thing, with the psychedelics. Mostly, like everybody has, not everybody, but mostly a lot of people has the same kind of.
That's
they go to the same place, like they kind of have the same feel. to the same place.
With
Experience the same.
I've been reading a lot of like spiritual books and occult books and stuff like that. Just not necessarily I'm super into Christian
really
stuff.
cool.
But it's interesting as fuck because, like you said, there's just be a lot of coincidences or patterns in the universe and stuff like that. And I honestly do believe that like psychedelics is a guide to opening the energy that links us all.
Yeah.
And so when people take their trip to whatever dimension or plane or universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever, obviously there are going to be some similarities. And to me, it's too much of one story for it to be a lie. You know what I'm saying? People on two different completely ends don't even know each other could have a very similar experience with no outside influence.
Yeah, so look, so when I was tripping, so pretty much that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Let me just show you something where I went.
Okay.
Because that's the best I can explain. So, this.
Oh, fuck. Show the camera.
This is my favorite painter, Alex Gray. And that's where I actually, the best I can describe where I was. Like,
that's the best.
Literally, like, this is where I was.
Drop the low sense of this.
So, and this is, look, if you go like, it's just repetitive partner. It's just crazy. Yeah. Look. So anyway, so pretty much I was there in my living room and I was like, watching TV and I'm like, I'm gonna lay it. And at that time I actually was having like a lot of emotional, no problems, but like struggling emotionally, because I broke up with this girl and all that kind of shit stuff. And a lot of things, and also I had a bad news that, like pretty much it was a whole problem.
Yeah.
But thankful for that is that I'm good right now.
Yeah.
So I went to my bed and I turned off everything, the lights, and boom, then I closed my eyes and then I became part of everything. And then I started seeing like those faces everywhere. Dude, and then I was just like getting out of the wall, like from the floor, and then I was floating, and then I went to different galaxies. I spoke with other beings.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so crazy. And then I ended up floating myself into that image that I showed you. Dude, and I literally I would call it like God, but it could be like it's a higher power, something supreme. Dude, I was talking to him. I feel like I talked like for years with this thing, and dude, I could tell you what he told me like, dude, this is just a journey.
That's what I say. Even if it's you just talking to your subconscious, unconscious mind, even then it's still cool to access that. Like you said, a higher power for something. I agree with that. Whether it be a God or
you know what is another part of that journey? I was in my bed, just laying, and then I just sit, and I was just like, "Fuck you, starting!" Talking to myself, and then I just turned around and started repeating like I was having like
both persons.
Two different personalities, and then I just kind of came back to reality. Then, what the fuck is happening? That was crazy though. Like that was kind of not scary, but abnormal.
Yeah.
That was, oh my god. It's
about time to wrap up. Do you want to play a song?
What do you want to play?
Play anything.
Let me see what. I mean, I'm not.
He's an artiste, guys. Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see.
You know the song "As I Walk Through the Valley Shadow"? No, I don't want to sing it.
I probably know more in Spanish.
Yeah. Fuck KK Slider. Keep going.
Sometimes I dream about reality.
Oh, shit.
Sometimes I dream. Sometimes I dream about the wide world. Sometimes I feel so alone. Hey, Bobby Marley, sing something good to me. This world go crazy. It's an eternity.
Oh shit,
Hey, Bobby Marley, sing something good to me.
All right, y'all.
Ooh, see you guys.
Thank you for joining.
Until next